Hello, everyone, and welcome into crushthestreet.com. The very important interview today. We're going to be discussing the fundamentals in the resource market, but specifically an industrial metal and the economics behind zinc at the moment. And really, the economics cannot be overstated. It's an absolutely hot market right now with a great outlook. So I brought on the line Hugh Rogers. He's the director for Kootenay Zinc, an exploration company in an explosive sector. I brought him on just to really give us an idea of what is going on in this market and the opportunity that exists. Hugh, thanks for coming on the line with me today.
My pleasure, Kenneth. Happy to be here.
Hugh, we have China. We've seen China, just their growth in their infrastructure, really have a significant impact on industrial commodities with their build out that we've seen. And we know the U.S. is on the verge of agreeing to a $1 trillion spending plan for its own infrastructure. And actually, that seems to be the tip of the iceberg, because we know they always under budget, and there's estimates out there that show we need about $4 trillion of spending to really do the job and fix the infrastructure. I want to ask you, and just start you off here, what do these fundamentals mean to you in this environment?
Right, so I think you've touched on the key points here. It's really a supply and demand economics issue. So on the demand side, certainly infrastructure investment in China and North America, and globally, for that matter, are driving demand. So, zinc has probably one of the heaviest exposures to infrastructure investment. China growth projections, 5% plus per year until 2020. It will continually pressure the zinc supply side of the equation, or rather, demand side of the equation. In terms of supply, you've got mine closures out of China. You've got production from some of the big players like Glencore reducing output. And that really, I think, what it leaves you with is, increasing demand that's unmet and ultimately increases in price. So significant mine closures, mine production has fallen. You've got production from Asia declining, inventories declining, and as a result, zinc stocks are not shares. I mean, the actual inventory of zinc is approaching critical level. So, there's a lot of sort of factors at play here, but sort of when you can distill it down to supply and demand, it looks very good for zinc.
Sure, and I know I read a statistic. Goldman Sachs is estimating a 360,000 ton shortfall for zinc in 2017. I just want to touch a little more on the future for zinc, the production. Can we expect new production to come online here in the near future, or will it be a function of price for the zinc market to find some sort of equilibrium?
Right. No, I think that's a good point. And you mentioned Goldman Sachs. They've been very bullish on zinc, and not so bullish for some of the other base metals. And I think zinc is really a standout in terms of the supply demand and really net decline in global production, and at the same time increasing demand for the metal. So economics are very good, and I think it is a standout among the base metals for sure.
For these mines to close, that's a pretty serious decision to make. I mean, they're costly. I mean, millions and millions of dollars. And then to make a decision to close a mine, I got to imagine that for companies to come and build a mine, that's a pretty difficult decision too. So in terms of production, do you see a lot of new production coming here in the future, just considering the labor and the cost and intensiveness nature when it comes to mining in general?
For sure. So there's going to be As prices increase, greater interest in mine restarts, new production, but that all takes time. And then, as of course, everyone knows, it's extremely expensive. It will be a function of economics, and it's simply not something that you can you turn the tap back on. It takes time, takes a lot of money to find new discoveries, bring those online. I mean, you're talking decades potentially in terms of that cycle. So the sort of near to midterm economics are extremely good.
Sure. Well, that's just one front, right? I mean, we have the whole resource market now that I would say is in a bull market, but it has cooled since the summer of 2016. And I would venture to say that, in terms of opportunity and entry point, people should perk up now because we've seen a breather here in the resource market. And I'm wondering if you think that there could be a rising tide lifting all boats, and for the zinc sector to be a beneficiary of a rising general resource market.
I think it's a pretty exciting time to be involved in the resource industry, to be positioned in a relatively early stage story with lots of upside at the right time. So you've got, to your point, sort of the broader macroeconomics, and then you've got specific to the mining industry. I think a very exciting time with an entry point here. It's a slightly cooled market over the last 6 to 12 months, but certainly nothing concerning. In fact, I'd say it's a great time and opportunity here to get yourself positioned in a lot of these stories.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And, one of the things that has me more confident is that we are seeing new highs. I mean, not new highs, but we're higher than we were when, the bear market bottomed out. And there's more confidence that, hey, we are in an uptrend still. And getting in on the uptrend is very important. So I want you to talk a little bit about the opportunity that exists in Kootenay Zinc, especially for early investors and those who already are invested in this company. What do you see as the opportunity going forward here in 2017, 2018, and down the line?
Right. So I think with Kootenay Zinc, it's a fresh story. It's not a deal that's been sort of kicked around the industry, or at least the company, in terms of the last few years. We had an opportunity to pick up an option on this project, the Sully, on very good terms. We have an exceptional team, and it is a fresh company. Recent acquisition of the project. The team has just been put together over the last 6 months or so. So it's really, I think, perfectly positioned in terms of where the project is at. The people that have become involved, more personalities and high profile names from the industry to get involved, and we're looking at numerous potential acquisitions, M&A opportunities to grow the company, and we're relatively well capitalized right now, and I think it's perfect if you're looking to play in the zinc space and the broader metals mining market. I think it's a great opportunity.
Hugh, I was talking to you pre-interview here, and we were talking about the project, and how you told me it is a higher risk, but the reward on this could just be enormous. Talk to us a little more about, what you guys are exploring and the focus regarding the Sully mine.
Right. So the Sully project is in a great jurisdiction. It's about 30 kilometers from the former producing Sullivan mine. I think that's really the point here, is that, we're looking for a giant SEDEX deposit. We're swinging for the fences in that regard. There's only been, 5 or 6 of those deposits ever. And the Sullivan mine, being the analog to the Sully project, one of the largest SEDEX deposits in in the history of mining. So we're talking, 100 years of operation, 165 million tons produced. In today's dollar values, you're looking at a $40 billion plus extracted metal value. So, I mean, this is a monster project, and we're trying to do that again. And can we find something similar in the same region? We hope so, but the risk reward is extremely good. So it's a low cost exploration project. There is some historic work that was done on the project in terms of drilling and geophysics that have really helped us focus in on our targets. And we continue to get closer and closer to gravity anomaly that is a potential SEDEX. So for in simple terms, for not a lot of money, we get to have an opportunity, exposure to something potentially extremely valuable.
Yeah, it really is exciting. Everyone, this is Hugh Rogers, director for Kootenay Zinc. Hugh, I want to thank you for coming on the line with me today. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you just really reminding us and giving us basically an alert that, hey, there's an opportunity here that exists that you really should pay attention to and perk up to, because it might not be available to us for too much longer in the future. So, Hugh, thanks for coming on the line with me today.
Absolutely, Kenneth. Happy to be here.